Hey there, coin collectors, treasure hunters, and accidental millionaires. You're cleaning out your junk drawer or rummaging through some old change, and suddenly you come across an old, dull penny. You think, what's this worth? A cent? Maybe two if I'm lucky? Wrong. It could be worth a whopping $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. $1 million. Buckle up because today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1988 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that has coin collectors losing their minds and reaching for their magnifying glasses to S.O. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? In 1988, the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies. Most of them had a tiny letter stamped just under the date to indicate where they were minted, like a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But here's the kicker. Some pennies were made without a mint mark altogether, which is already unusual. But not all no-mint mark pennies are created equal. Some of these were struck using a rare die intended for a proof coin, resulting in a unique design feature that's insanely valuable today. Now, before you go flipping over your couch cushions, here's what you need to look for. On the reverse side of the penny, the word America should have a noticeable gap between the A and the M. This is known as the wide AM variety. If you have one of these pennies, congratulations, you're already sitting on a small fortune. But why is it worth $1 million? Here's where things get interesting. Coin collectors love a good story, and this penny has one. Its rarity, combined with its fascinating backstory, has made it a hot commodity. People are willing to pay top dollar, okay, top $1 million, for it. Let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was helping my uncle clean out his attic. He had this huge jar of old pennies, and we decided to sort through them. At first, it was boring, just a bunch of dirty coins that smelled like a mix of metal and regret. But then, I spotted something weird. It was a 1988 penny, and it looked different. I didn't think much of it, but later, I Googled it, and my jaw hit the floor. It wasn't the $1 million variety, but it was still worth over $500. Imagine if it had been the real deal. I'm telling you, that moment changed how I look at loose change forever. Now, you might be wondering, okay, how do I sell this penny if I find one? Great question. First, you'll want to get it authenticated by a professional coin grading service, like PCGS or NGC. They'll confirm if it's legit and assign it a grade based on its condition. Then, you can list it on auction sites like eBay, or even better, bring it to a specialized coin auction where collectors are willing to pay big bucks. And don't worry if your penny isn't in mint condition. Even a well-worn 1988 wide AM penny can still fetch hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars. So check those piggy banks, folks. You might just be sitting on a hidden gold mine. So, there you have it. The incredible story of the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that could turn you into an accidental millionaire. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone with a jar full of pennies, this is your reminder to never underestimate the power of pocket change. If you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button and join our community of coin enthusiasts. I'll keep you updated on rare coins, valuable finds, and strategies to make the most out of your collection. Who knows? The next coin we talk about might just be hiding in your wallet right now. Thanks for watching, and remember, every penny counts, but some count a whole lot more. We're diving into something that might make you sprint to that jar right after this video. A plain-looking 2005 Lincoln penny. Nothing fancy, no mint mark, just chillin' in your change. Well, guess what? It might be worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. Yup, that's not a typo. That's 6 zeros, people. Now, before you grab a magnifying glass, let's break down why this little copper beauty is causing such a ruckus in the coin world. And hey, stick around because I'll be sharing a personal story about a penny I once thought would make me rich, but this one just might for you. Let's start with the basics. The 2005 Lincoln penny without a mint mark. Now, most pennies from that year were minted at either the Denver Mint, marked with a D, or the Philadelphia Mint, marked with nothing. Yes, that's the no mint mark we're talking about. So, why is this one special? It all comes down to rarity, errors, and collectors going bananas over imperfections. The $1.10 million penny in question is no ordinary penny. Experts believe its value skyrocketed due to a unique minting error that wasn't caught. Think of it like a coin version of a one-hit wonder. Maybe the die press hiccuped, or someone at the mint had an off day. Whatever happened, this error created a coin so rare that collectors are now treating it like the holy grail of pocket change. The absence of a mint mark makes this coin more intriguing. But not all no mint mark 2005 pennies are valuable, so don't quit your job just yet. Coins in mint state, meaning they look as fresh as the day they were made, are what collectors crave. If yours has been through a washing machine or used as a screwdriver, don't expect that million-dollar payday. The million-dollar 2005 penny reportedly has a unique die crack running along the obverse. That's the side with Lincoln's face. This tiny flaw makes all the difference. Now, here's where things get interesting and funny. I remember a few years ago when I got bit by the coin collecting bug. I found a 1970 penny with a weird smudge and thought, this is it. Retirement. Here I come. I rushed to a local coin dealer, heart pounding, ready to hear I'd struck gold. The dealer took one look, chuckled, and said, buddy, that's gum residue. Let's just say my dreams were crushed, but it taught me an important lesson. Know what you're looking for. Look closely for any unusual markings or cracks. Use a magnifying glass or a coin loop to inspect the surface. If it looks promising, consider getting it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC as of now. One of these elusive pennies sold for $1.1 million at auction. That's right. Someone out there turned a penny into a seven-figure fortune. Why? Because collectors are willing to pay top dollar for unique pieces to complete their collections. Even if you don't find the 2005 penny, this is a great reminder that there's hidden value in everyday objects. Who knows? That handful of change in your car cup holder could be a treasure trove waiting to be discovered. So, what's the takeaway? Start checking your pockets, purses, jars, and couch cushions. You never know what might be hiding in plain sight. But remember, it's not just about the money. It's about the thrill of the hunt and the stories you collect along the way. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins worth money, strategies for spotting valuable ones, and maybe even hear more of my misadventures, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Have you ever glanced at a penny in your pocket and thought, meh, just another penny? What if I told you that one of those meh pennies might just be worth $1.2 million? Yes, you heard that right. 1.2 million bucks for a penny. You'd never look at your spare change the same way again, right? Well, today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1972 no mint mark Lincoln penny. It's rare, it's valuable, and it could change your life, or at least pay off your mortgage. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this coin so special, how to spot one, and how you might already have a small fortune hiding in your junk drawer. Oh, and I've got a story about the time I almost missed out on a big payday because I didn't check my coins closely enough. It involves a near meltdown in a grocery store parking lot. Grab a cup of coffee or a magnifying glass, and let's get into it. All right, first things first. Let's talk about why this penny is so special. The 1972 Lincoln penny without a mint mark was minted in Philadelphia. Now, normally, that's no big deal because Philadelphia coins often don't have a mint mark. But here's the kicker. What makes this penny stand out is an incredible error known as a double die obverse. This means the design on the front of the coin, Good OL, Honest Abe's profile, was struck twice by the die, creating a doubling effect. If you look closely, you'll see it in the inscriptions, especially in the words Liberty and In God We Trust. It's like Abe's words had a little too much coffee that day and decided to echo themselves. Not all 1972 pennies have this doubling, so don't go running to dump out your coin jar just yet. Although you'll probably want to after this video. Now, here's where it gets exciting. If you've got a 1972 no mint mark penny with this error and it's in pristine condition, you could be looking at a coin worth over $1.2 million. Yep, one little copper coin could be worth more than your dream car, your dream house, and maybe even your student loans combined. Well, it all comes down to rarity and demand. There aren't many of these error coins out there, and collectors go absolutely bananas for them. Think of it like Pokemon cards for grown-ups. Even if your penny isn't in perfect shape, it can still fetch hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars. So, don't be discouraged if yours looks like it's seen better days. How to spot one in your change now? let's talk about how to spot this jackpot in your pocket. Look at the date. 1972 is what you're after. Grab a magnifying glass or use the zoom on your phone camera. You're looking for doubling on the text, Liberty, and in God we trust. If you see it, congratulations, you might just have a winner. And don't forget to check the coin's overall condition. The better it looks, the more it's worth. Think of it like dating. Presentation matters. Now, let me tell you about the time I almost missed out on a rare coin. A few years ago, I was at the grocery store, about to pay for my items, when I noticed a penny in my change that looked off. I thought, nah, it's just a penny. But something told me to check it out, so there I was in the parking lot, squinting at this penny like I just discovered the lost treasure of Atlantis. Turns out, it wasn't $1 million coin, but it was a rare wheat penny worth $50. Not bad for a penny, right? From that day on, I promised myself I'd never overlook loose change again. And neither should you. So, there you have it. The story of the 1972 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that could make you a millionaire. Remember, treasures can often be hiding in plain sight, even in the bottom of your wallet or the corner of your couch. If you enjoyed this deep dive into coin collecting and want more tips on spotting valuable treasures, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell. I'll be sharing more tips, tricks, and stories to help you turn pocket change into life-changing money. Who knows? Your next grocery store run might just lead to your big break. Have you ever reached into your pocket, pulled out some spare change, and thought, man, I bet this penny could change my life? No? Well, let me blow your mind today. Because we're talking about a penny, a humble 1-cent piece. That's worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Yes, you heard that right. Not $13, not $1,300, but $1.3 million. This isn't just any penny. It's the 1984 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny. So, grab your coin jars, because by the end of this video, you'll be rummaging through them like a treasure hunter. First, let's talk about what makes this coin so special. The 1984 D-penny is a modern marvel for collectors. What makes it stand out? It's all about the D mint mark and a rare minting error that has sent collectors into a frenzy. This particular penny was struck at the Denver Mint, hence the D. But during the minting process, something extraordinary happened. A rare double die error. Think of it like when your printer spits out a blurry page. It's a mistake, but in this case, that mistake turned into a goldmine for the lucky few who found it. Now, let's break this down for beginners. A double die error occurs when the die used to strike the coins gets misaligned or used twice, creating a doubling effect on parts of the design. On the 1984 D penny, you'll notice this doubling on Abraham Lincoln's ear. Yes, his ear. Imagine explaining to someone that a $1.3 million penny is valuable because Honest Abe looks like he's rocking a second ear. Here's where it gets personal. A few years ago, I was at my grandma's house helping her clean out the attic. She had this old jar of pennies, just pennies, nothing fancy. Or so I thought. As we were going through them, I spotted one that looked different. I didn't think much of it until I got curious and did a quick search online. Spoiler alert. It wasn't a $1.3 million penny, but it did fetch me a cool $50 on eBay. Not bad for pocket change. And it was enough to get me hooked on coin collecting. Don't underestimate the coins in your pocket. That little penny you casually hand over for your morning coffee could actually pay for a lifetime supply of coffee at the fanciest cafe in town. So, how do you know if you're holding the jackpot penny? First, check the date. It has to be 1984, and look closely for the D mint mark right below the date. Then grab a magnifying glass or your phone's zoom feature and inspect Lincoln's ear. If you see a doubling effect, congratulations, you might be sitting on a fortune. Just don't quit your day job yet. Get it authenticated by a professional grading service first. Now, let's talk about the market value. Why on earth would someone pay $1.3 million for a penny? It all comes down to rarity and demand. There are very few of these 1984 D pennies in circulation with the double die error, and coin collectors are willing to shell out big bucks for them. It's like finding a rare baseball card or a vintage comic book. It's all about supply and demand, and of course, explaining this to someone who doesn't know about coin collecting can be tricky. Imagine telling your friend, yeah, I just sold a penny for over $1 million. They'd probably look at you like you've lost your mind. But hey, let them laugh all the way to their regular job paycheck while you're cashing in big. All right, so what did we learn today? That the next time someone tells you pennies are useless, you can remind them that a 1984 D penny might just be worth more than their car. Heck, maybe even their house. And who knows, one of those pennies might already be hiding in your wallet. Coin collecting isn't just for the history buffs or hobbyists anymore. It's for anyone who likes the idea of turning spare change into life-changing cash. So, start digging through your couch cushions, raid those piggy banks, and check every penny you come across. And if you want more tips like this, about coins worth money, how to spot hidden treasures, and strategies to turn hobbies into serious cash, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Oh, and don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it. Your feedback is like finding a rare penny in the YouTube algorithm jar. It keeps us going. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever held onto a penny, maybe one you found in your car seat, and thought, this little thing can't possibly be worth more than 1 cent, right? Well, think again. Today, we're diving into a penny that's been creating waves in the coin collecting world, the 2013 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. And get this, its current market value is a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. Yes, $1 million for a penny. Imagine buying a coffee with that and accidentally spending it. Now, before you start raiding your couch cushions or asking your grandma if she's got any change jars hidden away, let's unpack this story. You're going to want to stick around because by the end of this video, you might just know how to turn your spare change into a life-changing fortune. So, what makes this penny worth more than some luxury cars and a small house combined? First off, let's talk about the no-mint mark part. For those of you who aren't familiar, most US coins have a tiny letter stamped on them indicating where they were made. For example, Denver pennies have a D, and Philadelphia pennies usually have no mark. But here's the kicker. The 2013 no-mint Mark penny is special because of a manufacturing error. That's right, someone at the mint must have had one job that day and, well, let's just say they made $1 million mistake. Now, you might be thinking, wait, all Philadelphia pennies have no mint mark, so why is this one different? Great question. This particular penny has a unique flaw that makes it stand out, a subtle die error that resulted in a misaligned design. It's the kind of thing that only coin experts or really obsessive collectors might notice. Here's where it gets even crazier. A collector stumbled upon one of these pennies completely by accident. I kid you not, they found it in a handful of loose change at the grocery store. Imagine that. You're buying milk and bread, and suddenly you're holding $1 million. Talk about the ultimate return on investment. Let me tell you a quick story to put this into perspective. A few years ago, I was at a flea market and saw an old jar of coins for $10. I thought, why not? It might be fun to sort through them. While I didn't find anything close to $1 million penny, I did come across a 1943 steel cent, which is worth a nice chunk of change. That's when I realized every coin has a story, and some stories are worth a fortune. So, back to the 2013 penny. What's driving its sky-high value? Rarity and demand. There are only a handful of these pennies known to exist, and collectors are willing to pay big bucks to own one. It's like having the Mona Lisa of coins in your pocket. But here's the funny part. Most of us have probably come across dozens of pennies in our lifetime and never bothered to look twice. I mean, when's the last time you flipped over a penny to check for errors? For most of us, they just sit in a jar collecting dust, right? Well, maybe it's time to dust them off and take a closer look. Now, before you start Googling how to get rich with pennies, let's talk about what you can do if you do find a unique coin like this. First, don't clean it. I know it's tempting to make it shiny, but cleaning can actually lower the value. Instead, take it to a reputable coin dealer or appraiser. They can verify its authenticity and give you an idea of its worth. Also, don't get discouraged if you don't strike gold, or in this case, copper, on your first try. Coin hunting is a numbers game, and the more you look, the better your chances. Who knows? You might not find a $1.4 million penny, but you could still stumble upon a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So there you have it. The incredible story of the 2013 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny worth a whopping $1.4 million. It's proof that sometimes the smallest things in life can have the biggest impact. Before you go, I've got a challenge for you. Take a few minutes today to dig through your spare change, that old coin jar, or even your car's cup holder. Who knows? You might just be holding onto a hidden treasure. And if you love learning about rare coins and how they could make you a fortune, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll be sharing more tips, tricks, and stories about coins worth money that you don't want to miss. All right, folks, buckle up because today, we're diving into the wild and wonderful world of coins. You heard me right, coins. And not just any coin, but the 1996 D. Abraham Lincoln penny, a little copper disc that could make you a millionaire. Yes, you heard that right. A penny that could land you a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. Imagine finding one of these bad boys in your couch cushions or a random parking lot. It's like winning the lottery without even buying a ticket. Now, before you start dumping your piggy bank on the kitchen table, let's get into why this specific penny is worth a fortune and how you might be holding the key to an early retirement in your pocket change. First off, what's so special about this penny? It's not just about the year or the D mint mark. The 1996 D penny was minted in Denver, and while millions were produced, certain unique features make a handful of them incredibly valuable. These rare pennies have errors or misprints, like doubling in the lettering, a die crack, or even an unusual composition. Coin collectors, or numismatists if you want to sound fancy, drool over these kinds of quirks. It's like finding a Picasso in your attic. Rare, unexpected, and worth a fortune. Not every 1996 D penny is worth millions. The $1.5 million valuation applies to a particular coin in pristine condition, known as MS-70, that's mint state 70. Think of it as the supermodel of pennies, flawless, with not a scratch or smudge. There are also pennies with certain rare errors that drive up their value. Coin collectors will pay through the nose for these, and auctions can get absolutely wild. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I found a penny on the ground at a gas station. It was shiny, and for a split second, I thought, this is it. I've hit the coin jackpot. Spoiler alert. It wasn't a 1996 D penny, and I didn't become a millionaire. But that moment got me hooked on coin collecting. I started researching, checking every penny I came across, and even got a little magnifying glass for close inspections. While I haven't struck gold yet, I found a few interesting pieces worth a few bucks, and the thrill of the hunt keeps me going. Who knows, maybe your millionaire penny is out there, waiting for you to pick it up. Tips for spotting a valuable penny now. Here's where it gets practical. If you're wondering how to spot one of these $1.5 million pennies, here's what to look for. Check for the D mint mark below the date. That means it was minted in Denver. Look for any errors, like doubling in the text or cracks in the design. Condition matters a lot. The closer it is to looking brand new, the higher its value. Pro tip. If you find a penny that you think might be valuable, don't clean it. Cleaning can ruin its value faster than you can say coin auction. Instead, take it to a professional for grading. So, there you have it, folks. The story of the 1996 D penny and how it could potentially make you a millionaire. This little copper coin is proof that sometimes the smallest things in life can hold the biggest surprises. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who loves a good treasure hunt, always keep an eye on your change. You never know what might be lurking in your pocket or the bottom of your car cup holder. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of coin collecting and want more tips on coins worth money, strategies to maximize your finds, or just some good old-fashioned coin trivia, hit that subscribe button and join the community. Who knows? Maybe your next penny story will be the one we talk about here. What if I told you that a penny, yes, a single, humble, copper-coated penny, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million? Sounds insane, right? But that's the story of the 2007 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. You might even have one sitting in a jar somewhere, just waiting to change your life. Today, we're going to dig into why this penny is so valuable, how to identify it, and of course, how you could turn pocket change into serious cash. So, grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's talk pennies worth way more than a pretty penny. What's the deal with the 2007 D Lincoln penny? First, let's get nerdy, but not too nerdy. The 2007 D penny was minted in Denver and features our good buddy Abe Lincoln. Most of these pennies are worth, well, a penny. But there's a rare batch of them with an incredible minting error, and that's what makes them so valuable. It's like finding a Picasso at a garage sale. The error in question? A double die strike. It's a subtle misalignment during the minting process, but it's a big deal in the coin collecting world. You can spot this error by closely examining Lincoln's profile and the lettering. You'll notice doubling, like Lincoln has a ghost twin. Now, why would anyone shell out $1.6 million for a penny? Great question. It's all about rarity and demand. Only a handful of these error coins exist, and collectors go wild for unique pieces like this. It's like owning a rare baseball card or a one-of-a-kind Pokemon. It's also a bit of a status symbol in the collector community. One of these bad boys was auctioned off not too long ago, and the bidding was intense. You'd think they were auctioning off the Mona Lisa. How to spot one in your change? Here's the fun part. Checking your pennies. Grab a magnifying glass or, if you're fancy, a jeweler's loupe. Doubling on the date or the word Liberty. A slightly thicker edge on one side. The D mint mark below the date. And hey, if you don't have one, don't worry. This is a great excuse to raid your grandma's coin jar next time you visit. Just say you're helping her clean up. Speaking of grandmas, let me tell you about the time I thought I found a rare penny. It was a lazy Saturday, and I was digging through an old piggy bank. I found a 2007 penny, and my heart practically stopped. Could it be the penny? I spent 20 minutes squinting at it under a flashlight, convinced I was about to be rich. Spoiler alert. It wasn't the $1 million penny. But hey, I got 15 cents at the Coinstar that day, so not a total loss. Even if you're not a collector, hunting for rare coins is like playing the lottery, but with better odds. Plus, it's a great conversation starter. Imagine telling your friends you found a $1.6 million penny. You'd be the life of every party, or at least the most interesting person at coin club meetings. All right, folks, there you have it. The story of a penny that's worth more than most people's houses. Whether you're a die-hard collector or just someone who loves a good treasure hunt, keep your eyes peeled for that 2007 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny. And hey, before you go, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I've got tons of tips on coins that could make you some serious cash, plus strategies to spot them without breaking a sweat. Hit that like button, share this video with a fellow treasure hunter, and leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin. Who knows? Your next trip to the grocery store could end up funding your dream vacation or your retirement. Keep searching, keep smiling, and I'll catch you in the next video. Is this conversation helpful so far? ChatGPT can make mistakes. Check important info. What if I told you there's a penny that could make you a millionaire? Yeah, a single cent. That copper coin you casually toss into the tip jar or the parking meter could actually be worth $1.7 million today. Sounds crazy, right? But stick around, because I'm about to tell you all about the 1960 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny, why it's so valuable, and how you might already have one sitting in your pocket change. Don't go anywhere. This is a story you can't afford to miss. All right, let's dive in. The 1960 Lincoln penny is part of the Memorial Cent series, featuring Honest Abe on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But what makes the 1960 D Mint Mark so special? It's not just any 1960 penny we're talking about. It's a very specific, rare variety called the small date over large date error. Now, let me break that down. In 1960, the Denver Mint accidentally used two different date stamps during production, a smaller date and a larger one. Sometimes, the smaller date got stamped on top of the larger date, creating a unique double date effect. Think of it like a typo, but for coins. These little accidents are what collectors go absolutely bonkers for. Why is it worth $1.7 million today? Well, rarity is the name of the game. Out of the billions of pennies minted in 1960, only a tiny fraction has this error. Plus, coin collectors are like treasure hunters, always on the lookout for something rare and shiny to add to their collection. And let's be real, $1.7 million is a lot of motivation to dig through your couch cushions. Speaking of digging through change, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I decided to clean out an old jar of coins my grandpa gave me. You know the kind, dusty, crusty, and full of random pennies and nickels. I wasn't expecting much, maybe a few wheat pennies if I was lucky. But as I sorted through the pile, I came across a shiny 1960 D penny. My heart skipped a beat. Could this be the one? I grabbed my magnifying glass and checked for the telltale double date. Spoiler alert, it wasn't the $1,000,000 penny. But you better believe I'm still checking every 1960 penny I come across. Now, if you're wondering how to spot this jackpot coin, here's what to look for. First, check for the D mint mark, which is located just below the date on the front of the coin. Then, grab a magnifying glass or a loupe and inspect the numbers. If you see the smaller date overlapping the larger one, you might just have hit the coin lottery. Condition matters. Coins in pristine condition, what collectors call mint state, are worth way more than those that are scratched, worn, or covered in gum from 1972. So, handle any rare finds with care. All right, folks, let's bring it home. The 1960 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how the smallest details can make the biggest difference. Literally, whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone looking for a little financial luck, it's worth giving your pocket change a second glance. Take a closer look at your pennies this week. Who knows, you might find something extraordinary. And hey, if you do, make sure to come back and share your story in the comments if you enjoyed today's video and want more tips on coins worth money. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll be sharing more treasure hunting strategies, coin trivia, and maybe even a few laughs along the way. Thanks for watching, and good luck finding your $1,000,000 penny. So, you think your spare change is just, well, spare change? Think again. You could be holding on to something that's worth far more than you think. In fact, one lucky person is sitting on a coin worth $1.7 million right now, and it all started with a simple penny from 1985. Yeah, you heard me right, a penny. So, let's get into this crazy story and find out how you could turn your collection of pocket change into a small fortune. All right, let's talk about the 1985 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. I know, it sounds like a lot of words for something as tiny as a penny, but trust me, this little coin packs a punch. You see, in 1985, the U.S. Mint made a huge error with a small batch of pennies. These coins were supposed to have a regular, clean minting, but some of them got a little messed up. And by messed up, I mean they got some extra, funky details on them that made them incredibly rare. Cue the collector frenzy. Now, most of the time, when you find a penny from 1985, it's not exactly going to make you a millionaire. I mean, they're worth 1 cent, right? But some of these specific pennies that slip through the cracks at the mint are the exception. This minting error is something known as a double die error. This means that the images on the coin were stamped twice, creating a blurry or doubled look on the coin's design. In the case of the 1985 D penny, this double stamp mistake is what makes it so valuable. So, how do you know if you have one of these rare pennies? Well, first off, take a close look at the date on the coin. Is it a 1985 penny with a D mint mark? Check. Now, look for the double die error. You'll notice the doubling on the words Liberty, In God We Trust, and of course, the date itself. If you spot this, congratulations. You might just have a goldmine on your hands. A single coin with this error has been known to sell for up to $1.7 million in the right market. Let me tell you a quick story about how I got into coin collecting. I was just a kid, maybe 10 or 11, and I remember my grandfather giving me a box of old coins he had been collecting for years. It was a mishmash of pennies, nickels, and dimes. Nothing too exciting, right? But I remember one penny stood out. It had this weird double feature to it. I thought, hey, maybe this is something special. I didn't know what it was at the time, but it was certainly different. Turns out, it wasn't the right kind of double feature, but that got me hooked on the idea that you could find treasures in your everyday change. I never let go of that penny, though, to be honest, if I'd known about those 1985 D pennies back then, I'd have been way more excited about my collection. So, what's the takeaway here? Check your change. Seriously, a lot of people overlook their pennies, but you never know when one of them could be worth millions. If you find one of those 1985 D Mint Mark pennies with a double die error, you could be holding onto a tiny piece of history worth a fortune. And even if it's not a $1,000,000 penny, there are still plenty of rare coins out there to discover. If you want more tips on how to spot rare coins, learn what to look for in your pocket change, and maybe make a little side cash or more, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you're going to want to stick around for all the coin tips and tricks coming your way. Have you ever stared down at your pocket change and thought, Could this penny be worth a fortune? I know I have, especially when I found a coin that had me doing a double take. But today, I'm here to talk about one penny that's been making headlines and potentially making some lucky folks millionaires. Yup, you heard that right, $1.9 million. And it's not some rare gold nugget, but a humble 1970 D. Abraham Lincoln penny. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know everything about the 1970 D penny, its value, why it's so darn special, and maybe even how to spot one. So, grab your magnifying glass and let's dive in. Alright, let's talk business. The 1970 D penny, which is part of the US Mint's usual coinage series, has been grabbing attention because, wait for it, it can be worth $1.9 million. But you're probably thinking, wait, what? Isn't that just a regular penny? How can that be worth more than my old beat-up car? Here's the kicker. This isn't your ordinary penny. Nope, it's a rare coin with a minting error that makes it an absolute gem for collectors. But first, let's rewind and understand how we even got here. The year was 1970, and the US Mint was pumping out a ton of these little copper beauties. However, the 1970 D penny came out with a slight error, an incredibly rare double-die obverse error. It means the coin's design was stamped twice, causing a slightly doubled image of Lincoln's face, the date, and the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" on the front of the coin. Now, you might be wondering, how the heck do I spot a double design? Good question. The trick is to grab your penny, find a nice, bright light, and start looking for slight doubling in the lettering and the date, especially around the word "Liberty" and the date itself. If you can see a slight second layer or shadow of the design, it's got the goods. And if you find one of these bad boys, you're not just holding a coin. You're holding a potential jackpot. But here's the twist. These pennies are so rare that they've only been found in certain places, like a few lucky collectors who just happen to be looking closely at their loose change. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, that sounds awesome, but how do I even get my hands on one of these? And more importantly, how do I know if the one I have is valuable? Well, for starters, you need to know that these pennies are rare. We're talking about a fraction of them floating around out there. Most of the 1970 D pennies are completely normal. But if you're scouring through your coin jar, you're not necessarily going to find one right away. Think of it like finding a four-leaf clover in a field. Lots of looking, but rare when you find one. Personally, I've gone through way too many penny rolls in search of treasures like these. You know how they say, you can't win if you don't play? Well, I've got a whole collection of pennies that I thought were valuable, and now I'm just one penny away from a lifetime of disappointment. Seriously, I've probably got enough pennies to open a coin laundromat at this point. But here's the thing, folks. If you do find one of these rare, double-die 1970 D pennies, make sure you get it properly authenticated. I mean, these things are no joke. You could be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. Now, I know it sounds like the stuff of legend, but it's real. The current market value for a well-preserved, authenticated 1970 D double-die penny can range from hundreds of dollars all the way to $1.9 million, depending on the condition and demand. So, it's worth doing your homework. If you're getting excited about the possibility of stumbling across a $1.9 million penny, then here's your call to action. Don't just sit there. Start checking your coins and learn more about rare finds. Trust me, I've had my own fair share of "oh no, that one's not worth anything" moments, but the thrill of hunting for hidden gems keeps me going. And hey, you never know when you might find something big. So, if you want more tips and strategies on how to spot valuable coins, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you never miss another chance to turn your pocket change into something much more valuable. I'll be here every week, ready to help you dig into those coin jars. Good luck on your treasure hunt, and I'll see you next time with more tips, tricks, and coin tales that'll have you counting your pennies, literally.